Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'm going to play a solo game of Soul, Last Days of a Star. I'm playing the second solo scenario, Cosmic Unity, and hopefully it goes better than the first scenario. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up to play a solo game of Soul, Last Days of a Star, and I am playing Scenario 2, Cosmic Unity. So following these setup directions, I've got all my components over here. These are like my supply. Everything here under the board I'm considering to be like on my mothership board here, but it's a little bit easier to see this way. So I've got my 8 sun divers, no energy to start. I have 3 movement points at the beginning of the game, and I am playing as blue, so I've got my mothership here, and the game starts with 1 non-player energy node in the core. Now, one very important thing that this scenario introduces that Scenario 1 did not have are these 3 instability effects here. So there are many instability effects in the game. You can randomly shuffle them and deal them out, but this particular scenario dictates that you have exactly these 3. So there's Chain, Ceremony, and Transcend, and randomly each one is associated with one of the suits in this deck, including this one is the Solar Flare suit. So we're only playing with 3 suits in this scenario, so Solar Flare and 2 others. I've chosen blue and green, and I can hold on to those instability cards when I draw them to turn them in on a future turn to get the effect on each of these cards. So if you watch my solo playthrough of Ancient Tower, the first scenario, wow, what a disaster that was. I'm gonna be generous to myself and say it was equal parts poor playing and bad shuffling, or at least unlucky shuffling. But that scenario is the only one that does not include these effects, and this is like really central to the game. So it's a little bit unfair to judge the game itself without these effects on that first scenario. So I'm excited to show this scenario. So let's go over these 3 effects real quick. So I can turn in a green card for this Transcend action, and that says ignore barriers during movement. So that means if I've got sun divers here and no gate, it doesn't matter. I can ignore those barriers and move them as far inward toward the core as I want to, so long as I have the movement points. The second effect here is Ceremony. This one's also related to movement, and this is the one that's going to be tied to the solar flares in this game, but this is gain 1 energy for each sun diver you launch into outer orbit from your mothership. So when you're launching, for each sun diver you put in these spaces, this would be the inner orbit, but into outer orbit, you gain 1 energy each, so that can be huge. And then the last one here associated with the blue suit is Chain, and this one says, for each sun diver in 1 connected chain with no loops or branches, the owner of that sun diver gains 1 free momentum, and then recall every odd sun diver. So we're going to be trying to stretch them out into a real long chain. And then gaining a bunch of momentum that way. And that's going to be really important because one more stipulation of this scenario is that you may not convert your sun divers into towers. So that's why I've put my towers up there. They're not available this game. So I have no way to transmit momentum from the sun to my arc ship over there. And I do need to get up to at least 23. So I've marked that space with a red energy cube. So the name of the game this time is going to be launching lots of sun divers, and I guess building lots of sun divers, and then using that chain action to try and get momentum that way. And if I need more momentum towards the end of the game, then rather than use chain, I might use this Transcend to just ignore the barriers and hurl all my sun divers into the core of the star. So that's what we need to know. Let's get going on this first turn, and I will use my 3 movement points to launch 3 sun divers, and I think I will put one of them here, one of them here, and another one here. So that was all 3 of my movement points. Now I orbit my mothership, and because it is a solo game, I discard the top card from this instability pile, but I do not have the option to keep the card from the end of turn orbit. I can only keep cards from other game effects such as constructing or activating. So we have a green card. Okay, so for this turn, I'm going to launch 3 more sun divers, and I think I'm going to put them all here. 1, 2, 3. And you can have up to 5 in one space, so that's okay. So now again, orbit the mothership, discard a card, and it's a solar flare already. So solar flare effects, first you down spiral, then you lose energy if you have 13 or more energy, and then you activate any buildings in your outer orbit, which I don't have any. So now it's time for my next turn, and I'm going to convert this time. I'm going to convert 2 of these sun divers into a gate. I'm going to put that gate right here. So these have been converted, so they go back to the supply, and that counts as constructing on this outermost layer of the sun, the convective layer. So I do need to draw 1 card for that, and it's a green card. And this one I can keep. So I am going to hold this one here, and I can turn this in on a future movement turn to get this effect, to ignore barriers during movement. But I've taken my convert action, so that's the whole turn. I orbit the mothership, I discard a card, it's another green one, and now I take my next turn. And for this turn, I'm going to do movement again, and let's see, I'm going to place 1 there and 1 there, and I will move 1 of these through the gate to here. So that's the end of that turn. Advance or orbit. Draw a card. It's a blue card that gets discarded. So for this turn, I will do movement again, but I will spend my green card to ignore barriers during movement. So I'm going to move this one here, and this one also to here, and this one here. So those are my 3 moves. Orbit the mothership, discard a card, another blue one. All right, on this turn, I am going to convert, and I'm going to convert these 2 into a foundry. So they go away, and in one of those 2 spaces, I place the foundry, and I suppose I will put it here. Is that what I want to do? Well, let me look at this for a second. Where do I want that foundry? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it here. So these 2, again, they've been converted, so they go back to the supply. And now I've built something in the convective layer, so I draw 1 card, and it's green again, so I will keep that. And now I orbit the mothership and discard a card. It's blue. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, because I built a structure in a ring where I had no structures previously, I also moved this track up, so now I get 4 movement points in a turn. And so what am I going to do now? I guess I will move, and I will spend this green card to use the transcend action so I can ignore barriers during movement. So I'm going to move through this barrier 1, 2, 3, and then this one through the gate to 4. So those were 4 movement points. I orbit the mothership, discard a card. It's another green. And now I can take another turn. And I've got to remind myself I do have 1 fewer suit than I had in the previous game. So it'll be a shorter game, even if I don't have all the flares at the top this time. But I will take a convert action. Now I'm going to convert this sun diver and this sun diver into an energy node right here. That's where that would go. And now, again, I draw 1 card because that was a convective layer. This one is a flare. So first I do the flare abilities or effects. So spiral this down. I don't need to lose any energy. I don't have any structures in the outer ring to activate. But now I can keep this card, and I can use it in the future for this ceremony effect to gain 1 energy for each sun diver I launch into outer orbit. So I think that'll be helpful. But now I orbit and discard a card. Ooh, which is another solar flare. Okay. Let's run the 10 space now. And now I can take my next turn. And I am going to activate energy nodes. So I'm going to use this sun diver and this sun diver to activate these 2 energy nodes, and when you activate, they come back to your mothership. And so this one in the convective layer, I gain 2 energy plus 1 for the bonus, since I'm the owner of that structure. And this one gains me 5 energy, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 3 because there is no owner of it, so I get the bonus 1 as well. So what does that get me to even? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so still a stable number. And now I need to draw 3 cards for this one and 1 card for this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there is 1 solar flare. We resolve that. And now I may keep any one of these cards or the one that I have here. And I think I'm going to grab this green one. Even though I really need to do lots of chain actions, I don't have the Sundivers for it at the moment, but I'm going to keep this. So that was that turn. Now we orbit and discard a card. Ooh, and it's another flare. And we're a good way through this deck already, so I guess I need to start making some progress, huh? So I'm going to do movement this time, and I will deploy 2 Sundivers. 1, 2, and then I will spend this green card to pass them both through that barrier, so 3, 4. So those are my 4 movement points. Orbit the mothership. Another green card gets discarded. And now I think I'm going to move again. And I sure wish I had more movement points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Orbit the mothership, discard a card. It is a flare. All right, next turn. And I'm moving again. So I suppose I'll move this here. And then 1, 2, 3. Those are my 4 points. Orbit, discard. There goes another chain, another blue card. All right, now I'm going to activate this foundry. So this comes back here, and I can spend 2 energy to gain 2 Sundivers, and then I can spend 1 energy to gain 1 more Sundiver. And now I need to draw 1 card. It's a flare. I can keep it this time because that was an activation draw. And now we orbit the mothership. Discard a card. There goes a green one. And so this turn I'm going to move again. I'm going to go, well, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to move. I'm going to go deploy, deploy, move, move. And then we orbit and discard another flare. So we're getting pretty far inward. I'm getting nervous. We're more than halfway through this deck. I've got no momentum. I got to start doing some work. So I'm going to convert these 2 into another foundry here, and that's on the outer layer, so I gain another movement point, and I don't need to draw a card for converting an outer orbit. So I just advance or orbit, draw, and discard a blue card for chain. Now I can take my next turn, and I'm going to activate this foundry so I can spend 2 and 1 to gain 3 more Sundivers. 1, 2, 3, and then draw a card. And we've got a blue card, so I can choose to hold on to chain as opposed to ceremony, and I think I will. I'll discard the ceremony one, keep chain because I need to start working on that. And now we orbit and we discard green. Okay, so now I'm going to do movement. I'm going to deploy 5 Sundivers, and I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now we orbit, discard a card. Ooh, it's another flare. But now I can activate this foundry, so spend 1 energy to build a Sundiver. That's helpful. And I will do movement again for this turn. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my 5th will be a deploy. And then I orbit, I discard. Ooh, it's another flare. But I can use that to get another Sundiver from here. So now I will activate this foundry. And I can get 3 Sundivers. And I need to discard a card. And it's a blue one, so I'll just discard it because that's what I already have. And now I orbit and discard another green. We're getting real close to the end and I've done no work yet. This is troubling. But for this turn, I am going to deploy 5 Sundivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe like that. Orbit, discard, blue card. All right, now I'm going to do movement again, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Orbit, discard, ooh, a flare. And I can't activate this because I have no energy. We're almost out of flares. So I'm going to do movement again, and I'll deploy 1, 2, 3, 4, shoot, 5. And then we orbit, we discard. Oh, another flare. There's only one of those left. Oh, I'm in trouble. Okay. And so now, before I do anything, I'm going to spend this blue card to activate chain. And for each Sundiver in one connected chain with no loops or branches, the owner of that Sundiver gains 1 free momentum. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know if these doubles count. I think it has to be strung out like this. I guess I could be wrong. Maybe I could have just put 5 and 5 and 5 and gotten 15. Who knows? So maybe I'm just realizing maybe I've made this way too hard on myself. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think the double counts. So I get 9 momentum for that. And now I start at one end of the chain and recall every other one starting with the first. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And they just come back here to my mothership. And now I'm going to, I haven't taken an action yet. I'll take a movement action and deploy, I think, all 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then orbit and discard a card. And it's blue. I don't get to keep it, unfortunately. I guess I got to get another blue one if I'm going to make use of this. So yeah, I guess that's a good point. How am I going to get more cards? Because that's going to be pretty critical. So I guess maybe we'll do movement again, and I'll go 1, 2, planning to activate that. And then 3, 4, 5. Try and build a new chain this way. But we now orbit, we discard. It's a blue card. Could have used that. And now I will activate this. So I gain 3 energy and draw 1 card. Oh, and it's green. Okay, I was hoping for blue. And now we orbit, we discard. There's blue. Oh, I'm in trouble now. And there's only a couple cards left. There's 3 cards left. I am toast. There's no way I'm going to make this work. And I'm wishing now that I had granted myself more access to the inner rings. So in a desperate bid to do anything, I'm going to use this transcend action to ignore barriers, and I'm going to hurl one of these. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and I guess I'll put, I don't know, 1 here in the off chance that I can get a blue card. So I've hurled, and that means I draw a card, and it's green, so I could keep it. I gain 2 momentum immediately. I would have gained an extra if I had drawn a flare, and now this Sundiver is out of the game. It does not come back. And now I have to orbit and pitch a card, and that is the last flare. So this goes here, and now the game is over. So another embarrassing defeat for me on this game, but a lot more interesting with these different effects, and honestly more interesting at a multiplayer account rather than solo. The solo is fine. The multiplayer's there's more going on, but with these effects, that makes it pretty interesting. So I definitely understood the importance of chain as my main method of getting momentum without towers. But I think maybe I should have done shorter chains earlier on rather than trying to wait until I could do these really big ones. And perhaps I also should have made a gate into this radiative layer and put one of my structures in there to give me both more movement points and more access to the core for the end, and maybe more Sundivers earlier on, so that I could have gotten the big chains a little bit more easily. And also I would have had more ability for card draw that way. I did not really consider after I use that first chain that I can't just keep moving because I will have no more chain cards to spend. So at least I was on the board this time. I had 10 momentum at the end of the game, it looks like. Yeah, I think that's 10. Oh no, 11. So about half of what I needed. So I'm still not very efficient at this game, but I do like it. And I've got to emphasize again, the components are really great quality. So I got some pretty good suggestions in the comments after my first game of Soul on this channel, and apparently I didn't take any of it to heart. But if you've got any strategy advice for me, I would love to hear it. And if you would like to see more playthroughs of this game on my channel, let me know that as well. There's 4 more solo scenarios in the book, so I can give those a shot. And if that is something you would like me to do, I promise I will play and practice this game more between then, so I've got maybe like some likelihood of winning it. But luckily, it doesn't take too long to play, and it's always a good sign when I lose a game and I still enjoyed it. So I like Soul. I'm happy to play it. So if you're still here, please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done so yet. Leave a like on the video. Comments are always appreciated, so are shares, and you can always head over to my Ko-fi page. There's a link in the description. That's ko-fi if you want to make a donation to the channel. It helps keep things running, and I really appreciate it. But that's all I've got this time on Table for One. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.